Picture this. It's a Tuesday night. You're sitting on your couch, half watching TV, and you open your credit card app just to check in. Normal Tuesday stuff. And then you see it. A late fee. $39. Just sitting there on your statement like it owns the place. And here's the thing. You actually had the money. You just forgot to pay. Maybe you were moving. Maybe you got busy. Maybe life just happened for like 2 weeks and the due date slipped by. So now you're out $39 for essentially forgetting. And most people do exactly what I used to do. They just pay it. They sigh, they move on, and they never think about it again. That fee is not final. I'm going to give you the exact words, not a rough idea, the exact words to make it disappear. Most people could do it before their coffee gets cold. And that same phone call, with just a few tweaks, could also shrink the interest rate that's been quietly eating away at your balance every single month. Today, I'm giving you the exact script, word for word, the phrases, the pauses, the pivot lines, everything. Because the game isn't rigged against you. You just haven't been taught how to play it. Before we get to the script, I need to talk about something nobody ever mentions, and it's the real reason most people never make this call. It's not laziness. It's a little thing psychologists call assumed powerlessness. See, when most of us look at a credit card bill, our brain automatically treats that number like it's carved in stone, like it's a law of nature. The interest rate is what it is, the fee is what it is, end of story. But that's not actually true. That number was set by a company run by people who have the ability to change it, especially for customers they want to keep. Here's a metaphor that really helped me understand this. Imagine you go to a hotel. You book a room for $200 a night. You check in, and later you find out the person in the room right next to you, same floor, same view, paid $140. Same hotel, same room, different price. Why? Because they asked. Credit card companies work almost exactly the same way. There's a posted price, and then there's the price for people who pick up the phone. And who gets to decide which price you pay? You do, but only if you call. Now, before you dial that number, you need to understand how credit card companies actually think, because this completely changes how you approach the conversation. They are not your enemy, but they are definitely not your friend either. They're more like a store that really does not want you to walk out the door. Getting a brand new credit card customer costs a company somewhere between $200 and $300 when you factor in all the marketing, the rewards, the sign-up bonuses, and the processing. But keeping an existing customer who already pays on time, that costs almost nothing. So if you've been a customer for a year or two, making your payments, not defaulting, you are, from their perspective, a valuable asset. And here's where it gets really interesting. Inside every major credit card company, there's a department that most customers have never heard of. It's called the retention team. Their entire job, the reason they come to work every day, is to stop customers from leaving. And they have tools the regular customer service rep simply doesn't have. They can approve rate reductions, they can clear fees, they have a budget specifically set aside to keep you happy. Most people never reach this team because they don't know to ask for it. By the end of this video, you will. Let's start with the easiest win, the late fee. This works best if you've had your card for at least 6 months and you don't have a long history of missed payments. Think of it like a goodwill chit the bank has been holding for you. You just have to cash it in. Call the number on the back of your card, get through the menu, get to a human, and then say this. And I want you to notice how it's worded, because every single word is doing a job.
Hi, my name is Sam, and I'm calling about a late fee on my account. I've been a customer for some time now, and I've always tried to stay on top of my payments. This was honestly a one-time thing. I just had a really hectic few weeks, and it slipped through the cracks. I was hoping, given my history with you, that you might be able to waive that fee as a one-time courtesy. Is that something you'd be able to do? Now, stop talking. I mean it. Close your mouth and let them respond. Here's why this works psychologically. You gave them a story, not just a request. You made yourself a real person, not just an account number. You acknowledged the mistake without being dramatic about it, and you used the phrase one-time courtesy, which signals you're not going to make a habit of this. Most of the time, they just say yes. They pull up your account, see you've been a decent customer, and reverse it. 6 minutes, $39 back in your pocket. Now let's talk about where the real money is, your interest rate. Let me put it in perspective for you. Say you've got $3,000 on a credit card charging you 24% interest. If you're just making the minimum payment every month, a massive chunk of every single payment is just interest. It's like trying to fill a bathtub with the drain wide open. Now, what if you could get that rate down to 17%? On that same $3,000 balance, you'd save hundreds of dollars over time, just from one phone call. Before you dial, know 3 things: how long you've had the card, what your current interest rate is, it's right on your statement, and whether you've gotten any offers from other cards lately. Even those promotional mailers you almost throw in the trash count as leverage. That third one is your secret weapon. You don't actually have to be planning to leave, you just need to mention that options exist. Here's the script. Hi, I'm calling because I've been reviewing my finances and I noticed my current interest rate is pretty high. I've been a customer for a while now and I've kept my account in good standing. I've started getting offers from other cards with lower rates, and before I look into moving my balance anywhere, I wanted to reach out to see if there's anything you can do on the rate. Is that something you'd be able to help me with today? Now, they might say yes on the spot. Fantastic. They might offer you a temporary rate reduction. Take it and call back in a few months to try to make it permanent. But if they say they can't help, and some reps genuinely don't have that authority, here's your pivot line. This is the one that changes everything. I completely understand. Would it be possible to speak with someone on the retention team? I really do want to keep this account. A lower rate would just make a big difference for me right now. Retention team. Say those 2 words and the entire energy of the call shifts. Think of it like this. You've been talking to the front desk clerk at a hotel. The retention team is the manager who can actually upgrade your room. I had a listener, her name is Emma, she's from San Jose, who tried this on her card after watching one of my earlier videos. The first rep said no. She asked for retention. The second rep dropped her rate by almost 4 full percentage points. 4! On a balance she was actively carrying. That was real money saved every single month. Now, the last one, getting a higher credit limit. And I want to be clear, this one isn't really about spending more money, it's about your credit score. Here's the simple version. Your credit score is partly calculated using something called your credit utilization ratio. That just means how much of your available credit are you actually using. If your limit is $2,000 and you've spent $1,800, that's 90% utilization. Credit bureaus see that and it looks risky. But if your limit is $5,000 and you've spent that same $1,800, that's only 36%. Same spending, better score. A higher limit, even if you never spend $1 more, can actually give your credit score a real boost. Here's all you have to say. Hi, I'm calling to request a credit limit increase on my account. I've had this card for a while, I've been making consistent payments, and my income has gone up since I first applied. I'd love to see if I qualify for a higher limit. Short, clean, that's all it needs. One quick tip before you call. Check if your card company lets you request this through their app first. A lot of them process it with what's called a soft pull, which doesn't touch your credit score at all. If you call in, they might do a hard pull instead, which can temporarily dip your score by a few points. Not a big deal either way, but good to know going in. Now here's the mindset piece, because the scripts are the tool, but the mindset is what actually gets you to pick up the phone in the first place. Most of us grew up with this idea that the price on the tag is the price you pay, that asking for something different is awkward or pushy or somehow inappropriate.
But calling your credit card company to negotiate isn't asking for a special favor. It's a business conversation. You're a customer with a track record. You have real value to them. And the rates and fees they charge, they're not laws of the universe. They're starting positions. Every single month, thousands of people call their credit card companies and get something adjusted. They just don't talk about it because nobody teaches you this. Well, now you know. Here's your action plan, and I need you to keep it simple. Grab your credit card, flip it over, see that number on the back? Call it, today or first thing tomorrow morning. Pick whichever script fits your situation right now, late fee, interest rate, or credit limit, and just read it. You don't have to memorize it. You can literally have this video open while you talk. The worst they can say is no. And if they say no, you're in the exact same spot you're in right now. Nothing lost. But if they say yes, you just saved yourself real money with one 5-minute phone call. And that's exactly what this channel is all about. I'm Sam. Spend smarter, not harder. Share this with someone who's carrying credit card debt right now. They need it more than they know. Like, subscribe, and comment below. And I'll see you in the next video.